Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 W's and an H. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. These 6 question words are super important to us as journalists because we need to provide the answers to them in order to write a compelling news story. I know that we've probably heard these words before, but do you actually know what kind of information they're asking for? If the answer is no, or you're not sure, then have no fear, because I'm going to tell you all about them. First, we're going to begin by reading a story scenario that we can use as we're going through each of the 5 W's and the H. Our scenario is: a scientist was experimenting in her laboratory last Monday and was working on a vaccine for people who have cat allergies when she accidentally mixed the wrong chemicals together. After further analysis, it ended up that she found the cure for cancer. Let's begin with who. When we ask a question that begins with who, such as who is the story about, or who was involved, we are asking about people. So let's go back to our scenario. Who is the story about? The scientist. You could also ask, who was the scientist trying to make a vaccine for? People with cat allergies. Now on to what. When we ask a question that begins with what, such as what happened in the story, we are asking for details about specific things, objects, or situations or events. So what happened in our scenario story? There's a couple whats in this story, but I would say the most important takeaway what is that the scientist found the cure for cancer. Now where? When we ask a question that begins with the word where, such as where did the story happen, or where was the story published, we are asking about locations. Where did our story happen? In a laboratory. We don't really have any more specific location details, such as a city or a state that it happened in, but we do know that it was in a laboratory. Now when? When we ask a question that begins with when, such as when did the story happen, or when did the events take place, we are asking about time. So when did our scenario story happen? Last Monday. We could also ask when a story was published, and that would be provided in the date line near the top of the story. Now on to why. When we ask a question that begins with why, such as why did the events happen in the story, we are asking for reasons or explanations. As for the why in our scenario, we could ask a couple of why questions. Why was the scientist in the laboratory? She was working on a vaccine for cat allergies. Why did the scientist find the cure for cancer? She did it accidentally by making a mistake in her vaccine. And finally, how. What and how go together like 2 peas in a pod. Because what asks for the events that are happening, but when we ask a question that begins with how, such as how did the events happen, we are asking for the ways in which the events happened. In our scenario, we already asked what happened. The scientist found a cure for cancer. Now we can ask, how did she find a cure for cancer, or how did she make a mistake? She mixed the wrong chemicals together when making her vaccine. And there you have it, the 5 W's and an H. That's all I have for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching!